When you launch V4 Pro, you're not automatically connected to the server. Make sure you connect first, otherwise you're only looking at local databases. Server databases have an omega sign in front of them. Now when you create a new database, make sure you give it a name, try to avoid spaces, create a profile that matches what you want, and make sure you click off or check the Server Database button. Otherwise, it's just a local database and your web portal won't see it. Okay, now you're ready to scan. Make sure you've got a fast hard drive and avoid using too common a name for your master directory. You don't want to be moving the files after you've scanned them, otherwise SoundMiner will not know where to find them. Assuming they're in the right place, just drag and drop the entire directory onto SoundMiner. As long as it's been embedded with SoundMiner metadata, all the fields will populate. And you're pretty well ready to go now to create the next step, which is to create MP3 versions of these files. In this case, you want to launch the MP3 converter. It's really simple to use. All you've got to do is select the format, and usually something like 44:128 is a good streaming format. When you hit Start Converting, just select the folder where your master files are. Then it'll prompt you and select the folder where you want to put all the MP3s. Now let it go. It's going to collect up all the files and start the conversion process. And it'll show you a running count as it runs down all the files. Now when it completes the task, it'll show you that in the items remaining. And you're pretty well ready to go. You've got a master wave, in this case, and a master MP3, which will be your audition format or proxy. So now we're ready for the third step, and that is to go into the web portal. Launch your web portal and use your admin password to get in. Okay, now once you're in, go up to the top where it says admin and go into the back office. That's where you can control things. Select the database menu, and if it's not already checked off, check off the database that you just built and hit Save Changes. This makes that database active. Now select it again and hit the Details button, and this will allow you to now further control it. By default, it usually just calls it Asset. That is the thing that we scanned in, but we know that they were broadcast wave 1648K files. Give it a proper name because that's how it will be identified to your users. Remember to hit Save Changes. Now let's do the same thing, create a new asset, which will be our MP3s. Give it a proper name and hit Save Changes. That will be our audition version. Make sure you check off the button that says Audition up at the top here. Now we're going to make that file play when somebody selects a file. Now what we want to do is tell the system where to find the files. We'll go in and we'll find an example WAV file and drag it in. And we'll do the same thing with an MP3. We'll find the same file in MP3 version and drag it in. And then I just click Save Changes to update it. And now your proxy has been assigned. As a final check, I always run Verify Proxy. This is a report that tells you if there are any problems, any mismatches, any inaccessibility, and allows you to correct it. The proxy report here showed there were no problems, so we shouldn't have any problems playing back any files. Now when you go to the Sites pane, you can select what players are available. Since we're going to be using MP3 files, make sure you select an MP3 player for your site. And of course, Save Changes. Now, everything should play.